welcome to another edition of Pittsburgh Sportsline live. Tuesday night in studio. BPTV studios are here right at the police station, the library. Come and visit us sometime. We got Jeff on camera again. We got a full house in the control room. Devin Shea, Chris Satter, and Tessa, the Rookie of the Year, is there. So that's our support cast. I'm Al Levine, the talking machine. We got Chip Hayner called me or messaged me early this morning that he's sick. Didn't want to spread any sickness in the studio. So Chip, make sure you heal up fast. Hope you're resting. If you watch the show, we'll be talking sports shortly. I got our new visiting co-host, Tony Bucilli. Hope I pronounce it right.
Close enough. Italian. Bucilli. Tony Bucilli.
Bucilli.
Yep.
Okay, I got it. And he'll be talking to us shortly. And of course, we got Smokin' Jim Frazier. And before I go any further, can somebody take a close-up of Smokin' Jim's post? Because I'm going to do my little promo of Olive Oil's Pizzeria. Can we get a close-up on how fresh that is? Just leave it down, Smokin' Jim. Look at that plate. We got a meatball hoagie. We got pepperoni and sausage pizza. Call 412-831-1900. If you need a close-up here, this is what their little brochures talk about. But mine was delicious. I barely inhaled it. And I want to give a shout-out to my man Ray Reamer, who come to visit us with a great photographer last night, Robbie Lee. He called me with about 10 seconds to go on air. So sorry to cut you short, Ray. I know you watch our shows, but we're doing it live right now. And we have a lot of sports. We're on Verizon 32 from Nemacolin to Cranberry and Wexford and everywhere in between. Just let us know if you can't see it. We'll have to talk to Verizon a little bit. We have Comcast 7 only in Bethel Park. Just remember that's only Comcast 7 in Bethel Park. We appreciate all the local people. Just ran into a half a dozen people over the weekend again. They said, "You're on TV." I said, "Thank you for watching. We appreciate your support." Thanks to Bethel Park Council and the municipality of Bethel Park for all they do for BPTV. Now, we just hit a brand new high on our likes. Jim Audet, we cracked 5,200. When I left here, I didn't check my phone right now because I can only multitask on about 3 things, not 4. We have 5,208 likes. So thank you, everybody, for the likes. I just got a like from a guy out in California. Thought it was Robbie Lee's page. So I told him it wasn't. Then he friended me. Then he liked our page. So thank you very much. Then I liked his page. So that's how we do things. Like us first, and we'll like you. Now, we start our opening segment. Tony knows all about it. We talk about what's on your mind. And we're going to start with Smokin' Jim Frazier. Don't bite that pizza yet. What's on your mind, Smokin' Jim Frazier?
Thanks, Al Levine, the talking machine. And if you want the green,
coming at you.
You got the C, Levine. Thanks, Tony.
You got it.
Thank you.
What's on my mind is going to be very short and sweet. Not so much sweet, but hey, last night, not to steal any of your thunder, Al, I know you're going to talk about it later, but last night had a profounding effect. That's a word, right?
Profounding?
Yeah, on me.
Well, wait, let me hold it. We got a little technicality here. I'm going to have Tony check that out. We have a Funkin' Wagnalls from way back when in 1908. So I'll let you hold a dictionary that's that old. Don't give it to him. He doesn't read. He writes, but he does not read.
But
all right, enough of that.
Thanks for the Funkin' Wagnall. But last night,
it has words in there.
We did a show over at the Actrias over in PNC Park, and I tell you what, in last night's show, when you guys get a chance to watch it Wednesday night, is the reason Alan Levine and Talking Machine and myself do the show. We had a football team on called the Pittsburgh Buccaneers, and I know you'll talk more about it later, Al. But we had this team was predominantly pretty much an all-black team, although they had a white head coach. and
And a tight end.
and the tight end that looked like Heath Miller. And these brothers came in, and they was from some of the toughest neighborhoods in southwestern Pennsylvania, Uniontown, Stowe Rocks, Clairton, McKees Rocks, Avonworth. Well, ain't nobody tough ever came out of there. But, they came in, they didn't smile, they didn't speak to anybody, they didn't know who we were. They didn't care about who we were. They sat down. They were big, strong, angry, aggressive. And by the end of the show, they showed nothing but love for us, wanted to take pictures for us, high-fiving us, friending us on Facebook, wanting to come back to the show. And I really think that, this is the reason we do it. Because I think sports bridge the gap between all areas of race, creed, color, non-denominationals. Is that it? But that's the reason we do the show, because within an hour show, you can have somebody that you have nothing in common with and make a friend. And we made friends last night with the Pittsburgh Buccaneers. Good luck to you. Hope to see you in your first game against Uniontown. And that's what's on my mind.
I'm stunned, Smoking Jim. You use words that I never heard used in combinations like that.
I know, I'm supposed to follow that up.
Yeah, there's I'll just do like a dramatic pause here and just talk through that a little bit so I can. Okay, I'm okay.
You good? Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, one more thing.
I knew it.
One more
The
thing before I
pizza's
go.
delicious.
Pizza's flowing.
Shout out to the Bethel Park lacrosse team. My favorite team, and lacrosse is one of my favorite sports. And that's what's on my mind.
And I have to put a disclaimer out. He has never seen a lacrosse game. Even though one of the greatest athletes in history played it.
Jimmy Brown.
Okay. I even sent him a video once of it. Never saw it, but he liked it. Tony, now we're ready for you. See how that...
I'll try to follow that up as best I can.
Good luck. I have faith.
Yeah. Last time I was on the show, I did a shout out to Brian Russ and Tommy Kuhnackel for their performance on the weekend Saturday Sunday game between the Flyers and the Capitals. I want to follow it up with some recognition of Carl Haglin, picked up from trade from Anaheim, former Ranger that was then traded over to Anaheim this past offseason. For whatever reason, didn't work out in Anaheim. Playing with a lot of heavy bodies like Ryan Getzlaf and Corey Perry. Just wasn't a fit for the guy. And came to Pittsburgh, and now you have to look at the guy as probably one of the most serious weapons on the Penguins roster. Not only is he using his straight line speed to create room and ice for other players to make some plays and to generate shots, but his forecheck right now is probably second to none on the team, creating a lot of opportunities. And with Malkin's absence and Phil Kessel starting to pick it up, Carl Hagelin is kind of the working gear. He's kind of the Chris Kunitz now for the second line, and props to that guy for turning around his career and proving a lot of people wrong. And that's what's on my mind.
Great insights. Now, since Smoking Jim, I always pick on him because he's a huge sports fan. Now he's a lacrosse fan. I appreciate that. But you said forecheck. Mm-hmm. Could you just give a little explanation for him so he won't have to look it up or ask me later?
Yeah, I don't know if you want to give him the dictionary.
Well, I looked. It's not in the dictionary, just like profounding isn't there. Profunding was in there, but not profounding. But we'll go from there. Just tell them, and for people that don't really follow hockey, because we have all kind of sports fans.
Absolutely.
And we actually have some people that aren't sports fans. They actually think we're funny.
Oh, wow.
So Smoking Jim fed right into that. But tell them what a forecheck is. The short version.
The short version of a forecheck. You're going to see the puck in the Penguins' offensive zone, the opposing team's defensive zone. It's going to be a lot of wall play. It's going to get a little dirty, a little physical, a lot of sticks, a lot of bodies. And not only for a guy, the reason why it's profound, there's your word,
yes,
for Hagelin, because he's not a big body. He's a speed-oriented guy. It's more of a will and a determination for the guys who are good on the forecheck. So for a guy like Hagelin to kind of know his role and do his job and really get good along the wall is a big step.
And tell him why it helps, because he'll get confused.
It helps creating opportunities.
To score.
To score. Those 50-50 pucks are big in games, especially this time of year going into the playoffs and the playoff series. You want to win every puck battle you can in the corner, create an opportunity to get the puck in the slot, and set up a guy like Malkin, like Crosby, like Kessel for a great
And even Cullen.
Yeah.
39 We'll talk Penguins a little later.
Yeah.
Well, that reminded me of something. I'm glad you said that, Tony, because that did remind me of something. I just got a call today. On Friday, I'm having lunch with the one and only Terry Bradshaw. So thanks for reminding me of that.
There you go.
How did that come out of that? Folks, I got to take a time out again here because I'm not figuring out how he even comes up with these things that somehow we're giving him ammo.
I forgot to tell you.
Oh, that's why. Okay.
Fair enough.
Can't wait to see Terry.
You cannot beat information like this. And since I'm on a Smoking Jim Frazier kick, we usually don't promote a whole lot of other places, but I'm about the community. This is called the New Pittsburgh Courier. It's a legendary black newspaper, so Smoking Jim cannot write about us. So, being like that, I happen to see, pull this up, Mayor Peduto on the cover of the business section. All right, now we go inside, and I'm looking. Oh man, look what pops out. Sports. Now I know I tease Smoking Jim a lot because he likes to take it and he gives out his points there. Now I don't know if you can pull a close-up on there. This is an article that he wrote about one of our best teams that was on our show. It's a legendary team out of the city right now. There's even an expert talking about they may be the best City League basketball team ever. There's one expert, but they're not telling me who it is.
Might have to check your sources.
Well, I only need one source, and I just want you to tell me who wrote that article.
That is Smoking Jim himself.
Okay, and that's not his government name, but that's the expert. I finally got to the bottom of it. I had 22 other people tell me they didn't think it was him. And he wrote a great article there. It's online. We've had it posted up. So check that out. But he actually does write. Doesn't read. Now we got our designer bag bingo, the second annual designer bag bingo on May 6th. $25 a ticket. You know I struggle on it, but you can go to EV True Value Hardware in Bethel Park, see Handy Andy for tickets. Go to Bethel Park Library, and you can even come here to see Dave Cable in his office to get a ticket. There's door prizes. There's game bingo packets. You get 10 of them, 3 cards per game. So there's a lot of action there. I'll be there on the 50-50 and other things. We'll have some fun that night, May 6th. Mark your calendar, get a ticket. If you have a girlfriend, they like purses, a wife, a mother, and I mean they're separate, Smoking Jim. You can't have them all in the same group, all right? And they're all invited, thank you. That's a little bit of the comedic relief. Now on something serious, I always promote Stay Joey Strong, the Joey Cancer Foundation. If you can donate money, even $1, anything to help find out what DIPG is and how you can cure it or stop it or help these kids instead of it being just a death sentence. As soon as they're diagnosed with it, within 1 year they're dead, sometimes months. It's horrific to families. It just attacks their brain, shuts down their system, and they're not the same children they were before, healthy and looking like that. It's just terrible. And Stay Joey Strong, we'll have that at the end. Just something to get out there so you know about it. And they're Bethel Park residents too, the Favis family. What's on my mind? I got a couple things because it'll just be short. But we got baseball season coming up in 5 days, and that's the Pirates. I mean, I'm excited about the year because Kutch has been healthy. They got a few new players in there that seem to be fitting in. And, you know, we'll see what happens. Everybody's worried about the Cubs and the Cards. Well, you know what? It's a 162-game season, as Smoking Jim learned last year, and anything can happen. If you lose the first 2 games, and Kutch has one of the worst months in April last year, he had MVP numbers if he would have played from May to the rest of the year and just ignored April. But it helped them get there, and they had 3 winning years in a row, so they're one and done. So it's the playoffs. It's all about winning, and that's what we're doing now. I like the change. I like that, atmosphere that we have it. And speaking of winning atmosphere, we get a new coach. People wanted to get rid of Crosby. They wanted to disband the team, get rid of Malkin, or even trade him now anyhow. They're playing right now at 7 o'clock. It should be a great game. I'm excited, though. If they win the night, it'll be another 3-game winning streak. They just got off of a 6-game winning streak, which was the longest in the season. They've done it twice. So look what you have going on. You got one of the fastest teams out there. Now the national announcers are even saying the Penguins got something special going on. So I'm going to say, let's go Pens, Bucks and Pucks coming up shortly. That's what's on my mind. Somebody else just contacted me. I thought maybe we got an update on the Penguins score. We didn't get that. But we got a lot of sports to talk about. And Smoking Jim and I were at MMA this last week.
Yes, sir.
And we were at the Syria Shriners in Cheswick. And it's a great venue, just an awesome venue. And Pinnacle Fighting Championships, they held their matches there. And I saw one of the greatest fights of the night. It was the last fight, the main event, with Dom the Honey Badger. And he fought a guy who came down in class. He went up in class. And I'm a pretty good judge of weights when I see it, except for Smoking Jim. He's still at 185 pounds. And the guy that Dom fought, now there was rumors that they may be going to the UFC, whoever won. Well, his opponent looked about 20 pounds heavier than him. And it was just amazing. And these are 5-minute rounds. It's just an awesome fight. Dom, you have to watch the videos. It's out there. I've been a big fan of his. He's been on our show. He does a lot of great things in the community, with helping kids with cancer and other different charitable things. So he may be going to the UFC, folks. This might have been one of his last bouts here, or he may get another one. But it was that just awesome of a fight. Smoking Jim, what'd you think?
Oh,
sorry. You know what? He just inhaled that meatball hoagie.
Oh, I tell you what, it's everything that's advertised. But
hold on, I have a question. Did your piece of pizza fall on the floor? Because it's gone.
Well, we've been on air for 15 minutes, so.
Yeah, but you talked for 6, even though it was short.
But
I hate to criticize you, but okay, so it was delicious.
But yes, it was. And I tell you what, I never seen a honey badger lose. I was privileged. Is that a word?
You know what? That was in there.
I was able.
You're on a streak, one in a row.
I was able to sit with Ron Hanna the week before at the Gladiators at a cage, and we sat right next to each other by the cage, and he pretty much guaranteed that he was going to beat the honey badger. He's an undefeated professional fighter who early in his career beat Joe Holt.
Who's a tough guy.
Who knocks everybody out.
We just saw him in West Virginia in a boxing match.
In a boxing ring.
It was unbelievable.
So I was worried, and this was for all the marbles. This was to go to the UFC, which is the NFL.
So they say. It's not guaranteed.
Yeah, it's not guaranteed, but the UFC is the NFL of the mixed martial arts combat sports. And the honey badger is a favorite of the show. And the guy is just unbelievable. He's Italian, which is
bonus points.
It's bonus. And I tell you what, Al Levine, the talking machine, me and you were talking. The one move that he did where he was up and then he got on top of the guy and kind of twisted all around him. I mean, that was something you see in the movies. I don't know the technical term for it.
Well, it wasn't a rear naked choke. We know that. Because that's one of the ones that we've seen people lose. And it's just a spur of the moment type of thing.
And Rob Hand is a dirty fighter. He hit him one good time in the cup. I've never seen nobody get hit.
Hold it. I have to interrupt you. I never heard anybody get hit that hard in a cup. It was you could hear it was amazing.
Like a baseball bat off that cup.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Since we're in baseball season. Yeah, but he kicked him.
Yeah.
And he was really hurting and needed more time off, but he continued.
He sure did.
So, no, it was great. I enjoyed it.
If anybody deserves the promotion in the UFC, it's the Honey Badger. So
Thanks, Smoking Jim Frazier. Since we have you as a guest, we're not even sure what sports you do follow. Have you ever been to any MMA?
Yeah, one of my very best friends from college, he had about 3 amateur fights.
Really?
Yeah, so I lived with him, so I understood the whole training process, the whole dieting process, and how intense and overwhelming that can be. It's a livelihood, it's a lifestyle. Those guys are fully committed to what they do and the training, and you always look forward to those guys making the jump, professional ranks, UFC.
But not everybody's going to make it.
No.
That's the thing, like all pro sports.
Like all sports, yep.
Yeah.
what college did you go to?
I went to IUP.
Oh, okay. You didn't have to study there.
No, not at all.
And I wanted to mix it up a little because we do have our segments, and Smoking Jim, I saw, was a blur over there. So that's why I threw it out with what we saw.
Oh.
Okay, because you know what time it is now. It's Fiction and Fact from Smoking Jim's Almanac. I'm glad I'm the host of this show, Smoking Jim.
Thanks, Al, for being the talking machine. I totally forgot. You know what? I kind of jumped the gun a little bit because my Fiction and Fact from Smoking Jim's Almanac is a guy that I'm having lunch with on Friday. Is Terry Bradshaw.
Okay, that's it.
Terry.
We can't have redundancies like this.
Terry Bradshaw, when he played, was 6'3", 218 pounds, 220 pounds. This guy had a cannon for an arm, maybe one of the strongest arms in NFL history. Kind of reminded me of John Elway's arm. He could break the webbing in your fingers, and he torn the webbing in a lot of receivers' fingers. He could run like a running back. Early in his career, he had movie star good looks and was in some movies. And age jumped on his back quick. Age wasn't kind to Terry Bradshaw, so he was able to move into the, sports
You didn't
broadcasting.
mention he was a singer, though.
Yeah, I forgot about that. He was a singer.
Smoking
And the country and western is my favorite. But he's also a force for the young people out there. And I looked this up because I didn't read, I'm too young to remember some of this stuff. But he's 4-time Super Bowl champion, 2-time Super Bowl MVP. In 1978, he was the NFL MVP. He's in the NFL Hall of Fame and the College Football Hall of Fame. And right now, Ben Roethlisberger is probably considered the greatest quarterback in Pittsburgh Steelers history, but Terry Bradshaw may be the greatest quarterback in NFL history, possibly. And that's my Fiction and Fact from Smoking Jim's Almanac. And one of the things I'm going to talk to Terry about, I'll give you guys a sneak preview of our lunch, but one of the things I'm going to ask him about, as you know, Terry Bradshaw's from Louisiana.
Yeah.
Went to Louisiana Tech. Mm-hmm. And I'm assuming he didn't have the grades to get in LSU or something like that, Not known to be the smartest guy.
He lived right there and he liked throwing a javelin.
yeah.
What's better than that? You didn't even bring that up.
I won't bring that up, but I will ask him about Grambling University, which is in Louisiana.
Well, I didn't play for them?
I kind of figured I knew why he didn't play.
Okay.
But at one time, Grambling had more NFL Hall of Famers than any other college. So I'm going to ask him about what he thought about Grambling, what he thought about the great players they had and how they did in the NFL. So I want to get a perspective from a good old boy.
Smoking Jim, I appreciate what you even do. But like when you met with Roger Goodell last year, and then you have that photo you put up right on your cover on Facebook all the time, like your best buddies, like he told you anything. I only have one question. Why are you having lunch with Terry Bradshaw at this time of the year?
Well, I'll tell you off the air, Al Levine, the talking machine.
I hope it's not about all his marriages.
I will like to know.
Because one of his ex-wives was a good friend of one of my dad's best friends.
JoJo Starbuck? Or a
No.
different one? Okay.
No.
My dad says, Terry Bradshaw, my dad had season
This is a
tickets.
bonus fiction and fact right now, folks.
My dad had season tickets to the Steelers back since the late 50s.
Okay.
And I had season tickets to the Steelers since I was 4. But my dad said that...
But we don't know your age.
But my dad said that that Terry Bradshaw married this skater, professional ice skater.
You mentioned her.
Named JoJo Starbuck.
Yeah.
And my dad said Terry Bradshaw would play well, but she had a dance partner, and they would go all over the world. And when they were out of the country, Terry Bradshaw would have the worst games, man. He was like colorblind, man. So my dad used to always say he always knew when JoJo was out of the country, brother,
Wow.
with her skating partner. So that's a little bit from my dad.
Now, there was some fiction, and there was a little fact. And Smoking Jim, thanks for that bonus. And I'm glad you didn't bite a finger there, because we'd have to put a tourniquet on that. All right, now we got a new segment because we have a new guest, and it's the Wild Things and Rebellion segment. So you can give us in-depth, you can give us short, sweet, whatever you prefer, and whatever you're allowed to say, because I know you're signing players and doing a lot of great things in that neighborhood.
Yeah, since I got to follow up with Smoking Jim there with revealing some exclusives.
Get ready.
I know last week I made an announcement about the Antonio Brown Celebrity Softball game being played at Consol Energy Park in Washington, Pennsylvania. We actually had announcements today that we had 3 commitments to attend the Celebrity Softball game. Ben Roethlisberger, Le'Veon Bell, and James Harrison.
Wow.
No way. What a trio.
Yeah.
Martavius Bryant?
Not yet.
No, not yet.
Not yet.
He's on suspension, Smoking Jim. He cannot be near anything with football
So,
players.
Yeah, we've got kind
That
of...
is awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing it. This is another Pittsburgh Sportsline first.
Yeah.
Who knew?
No one knows this is not out to the public yet. This you guys, the loyal Pittsburgh Sportsline fans.
Now, don't tell anybody else. Don't text anybody. Don't video this that we have that going on. Oh, we are videoing.
We're live.
You're live, and this will be up, another day or so too.
So
again,
tickets,
thank you.
Yeah, tickets will be on sale Sunday for anyone interested at our stadium and also online. 2 quick notes about the Washington Wild Things and what we've been able to do the past week. We've signed 2 infielders, one from the Minnesota Twins organization. His name is Brian Haar. Played at UC San Diego with NL Rookie of the Year Chris Bryant from the Chicago Cubs. An all-star with the Twins. And we also signed a farmhand from the Chicago White Sox, John Wisniewski. Infielder from LIU, Brooklyn, NEC.
He'll fit right in the Pittsburgh area with the other Wisniewskis.
Yeah, we already got some comments about how the Scrabble points and Wisniewski alone it makes him a winner.
Does it? Now tell them who you are.
Sure.
Because this is why there's a lot of players that you're talking about.
Absolutely.
And what you do. For new listeners and people that are watching this for the first time, here's what Tony does with the Wild Things.
My name is Tony Bucilli, local Pittsburgh native. I grew up outside of Monroeville.
That's why,
All right!
That's why he's sitting right next to Smoking Jim.
That's why we're separating the two.
Yeah.
I'm the director of team operations for the Washington Wild Things and the PA Rebellion. Good portion of what I do is help build the Wild Things roster with our manager, help out with signing guys, working with their agents, working with the players. So very
This
fun.
is your busiest time of the year.
Yeah, my phone is vibrating in my pocket as we speak. Have a couple players looking to get signed, and I'm sure I'm going to hear some things. And we do a lot. I do a lot with the community. I do a lot with the youth baseball and softball programs in the area. Help those organizations raise some money with fundraisers out of our stadium and our facilities, and allow kids to. And we want to promote baseball and softball in the area, so we allow the kids to come out to games for free. And we're actually doing some work with the Bethel Church Baseball League.
Are you?
Yeah, we have a
My son
fundraiser
played
with
in that league.
There you go.
Yeah.
So we will
the Rutherford Church League. Yep.
Yeah, so they'll be out there at our stadium this year. So anyone interested, helping out, supporting them, they're selling fundraiser tickets to come out to a couple games for us.
Tony, you're breaking so much news right
I
here.
know.
I appreciate it. I wasn't aware of it. Maybe you can let Smoking Jim come out to the ballpark.
I
sometime.
can't
First
wait.
pitch.
Yeah. You know he's a power lifter. He might hurt somebody with that first
Violet Blue!
You know what, folks? I'm starting to figure out his age.
I heard
We're
it.
getting close.
Oil Can Boyd. I heard of these guys.
No, you didn't. You saw him. I caught him. I'm glad you got that out. Thank you very much with that segment. We'll go to our, one thing on the rebellion.
Sure.
What's an update on that? Because you were last week, you gave us some information.
Mm-hmm.
What would be the update now?
We're about 2 weeks away from the MPF draft in Nashville.
Okay.
16 days away. We're going to be live on TV. Our general manager
That's
will
what I
be
wanted
there.
to try to get out. How can they watch that?
It's going to be on CBS Sports. You can certainly reach out. It's generally on cable now. Live, you can watch all the draft picks. We have the number 1 overall pick, which is very exciting. We're going to get the best girl in college softball.
That's awesome.
So,
I remember you were saying that, but it will be on TV, folks.
Absolutely.
And if not, you'll see it online live, too.
Yep, you'll be able to track it, follow it. Feel free to follow our social media with who we sign, read some articles. We have a lot going
Tell
on.
them your social media again,
Oh.
okay? We got to do it slowly.
Sure. Our Facebook pages are Washington Wild Things and PA Rebellion, 2 separate sites. Our Twitter handle is @Wash Wild Things, and the Rebellion is PA Rebellion.
Very simple.
Yep.
Thanks for the explanation.
There you go.
We appreciate it, busy man, and we usually don't let anybody look at their phone. You have permission from myself.
All right.
If you would, I would appreciate it, because I'll talk a little bit on location. You don't have to put in anything. Check your phone,
Do your thing.
because that's important. We're about promoting sports and good things in the area, and you're doing that, plus helping the communities. And you're helping Bethel Park, too, so we appreciate that even more, since that's our home base here.
Absolutely.
So go ahead, pull that phone out. And I'll just talk about On Location. We had one of our best shows at Atria's PNC Park that started under one of the worst circumstances that Smokin' Jim missed. I was there about an hour and 15 minutes early, and I noticed as I'm walking to the place all bundled up with the cameras and other equipment, and I didn't want to drop my binder because it's getting filled up with a lot of stuff, as you could see. And I noticed that where we do our show, on the stage area in the bigger room, it was packed. There was no room for us. Before I got in, they said, somebody goes, talking machine, we may have a problem. They've double booked. So after talking to Tom, the new general manager, he said, we're going to work it out here, and he tried his best. I ended up having to reconfigure the whole thing, and they let us hang the Pittsburgh Sportsline banner right above our show, so it was a high point there. We had a great crowd, and from the Pittsburgh Buccaneers. We even had the father and mother of the Carpensi boys. 3 of them are fighting with the World Championship fights out at the Meadows on April 9th. I might have misspoke a couple times because I was so excited with all the things happening. I was saying May 9th. It's April 9th at the Meadows. You get your tickets. You can order them at the Meadows and online. It's going to be great fights. We may even have another fighter that's going to be there. It's not for sure, he said. Jason Bergman, the heavyweight. But we have 3 Carpensi boys fighting. It's a rare occasion, and they're going to be there. Then the Pittsburgh Buccaneers. It's a league that just started. We were lucky that Lou Calloway, the owner of the team, come out, and he brought about 8 players and coaches. Just had a great time. Got to interview all of them, 2 at a time, because we couldn't put a whole team up there. We didn't have enough room. Just great players. Like Smokin' Jim said, they really didn't know how to take us. Although Lou had watched, some of our interviews and knew a little bit about what Smokin' Joe was about. But I had to correct him. It was Smokin' Jim. So once he got that, he was great. He was our first guest up, and he was just fantastic. And we're going to see what else happens with him. They've asked a few other things. Now, Tony's looking at his phone.
Yeah,
Give me an update right now. I just want an update. Folks, if he's allowed to, he's going to tell us. If he's not, oh, you are?
I'm allowed to tell you, yeah.
Okay. And you too.
Working negotiations right now with a kid from the Washington State area, from NC State player, relief pitcher. He's choosing between us or a team out of Texas, trying to sweet talk him to sign with us. So trying to
I'll give a little icing on the cake. You can announce it on Pittsburgh Sportsline.
Yeah.
All right. If that doesn't push it over the top, I don't know what will. But thank you for saying that. We appreciate that. No, it's exciting times for you.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of great stuff. And I got a little bad news. Penguins are losing 1-0 early in the game. So like they've done in the last couple games, give 1 goal up right away, maybe even 2, then you come back strong. Use that speed. We'll talk Penguins in a minute or two.
Sure.
But on location, we'll finish. Thank you very much for that.
No problem.
Appreciate it. On location was just great. We are going to go through baseball season because the Pirates aren't always playing on the second Monday and the last Monday, fourth Monday. So we'll be there April and May. April will be 11th and the 25th, and that'll be at 6:30. It's a new starting time. I don't know what I'm going to do with my brother from another mother because he's struggling at 7:30. But we're going to 6:30. I've been known to fly a little bit of solo, and I can do some talking. But I don't know if I can do it for an hour without you because the show will be over. But we'll be doing 6:30 to 7:30. Talking Machine Big Mouth Burgers were popular last night.
Yes, it was.
And people enjoyed it. Then we had 2 ladies that, if you're feeling sad and you're having a terrible day and you see Pittsburgh Sportsline, turn it on towards the end of the show. We have Marilyn Manse and Pharaoh on the show. These 2 ladies, well, first, Marilyn has a problem since she's been a little kid. When she goes to laugh, she starts beeping. And there's something wrong with her throat, and they couldn't change it or anything. And she's had this. She's been on international shows, local shows. She was on Jerome the Bus Bettis show, beeping and laughing. They also were in the top 10 in the world, funniest videos out of the UK, England. The gentleman that put them on there and their website, he actually come to see them, and Marilyn told us how she was feeding him stuffed peppers that he never had before. So we had people laughing and crying. The tough football players loved her. They couldn't even believe anybody was like that. We had about 15 minutes of it, and she likes to always tell me what to do, and I have to tell her it's my show and you don't listen. So Mary Pharaoh always listens. Marilyn does not. So today I wanted to share this. She goes, what TV station is the show going to be on Wednesday night? And I tried not to be sarcastic. I just said you didn't listen. Because I mentioned Verizon 32 is seen everywhere, from Nemacolin to Cranberry Wexford. Most people know that after one show. She's been on it 3 times. So I told her that. Then she asked another question. This is hilarious. Any other station? Now, my normal, he just got it. My normal spiel, that's why I paused. My normal spiel is only Comcast 7 in Bethel Park. So I told her that. So Wednesday night we'll have more fans watching. Thank all of you for watching our show. We appreciate that. But that's what happens. Come out to Hollywood Lanes. It's an entertainment center in bowling. And meet Jeffrey Park, the owner, and the manager, Lindsay Marie. Great people. We'll have a great show next Monday at 7:30, Smoking Jim. Hollywood Lanes will keep the 7:30. Try not to get confused. And I'm not talking down to him or anything or being disrespectful. He'll tell you he has some issues there. That laugh confirmed it. And that's our on-location report. Tony, if you're getting any other updates?
Nothing yet. We're good.
Okay. I was getting a little nervous. No doubt about it. All right.
Don't forget, you might want to mention the new show.
I was waiting. All right. Smoking Jim finally coerced me to do a show. Then he told me to create a show on PCTV, Comcast 21, Verizon 47, out of the city of Pittsburgh. And even if they don't have cable, I heard they're watching it just on antennas in the city of Pittsburgh. I've had more people that know Smoking Jim. They go, I don't have cable in the city, but I love Smoking Jim Frazier. Busiest man in Pittsburgh media invited me to do a show, and I come up with something. And it's a 5-minute interview with the talking machine, a 1-hour show. You can talk about anything you want as long as it's not pornography or, something very offensive. I'm trying to promote business, fundraisers, good things happening, positive stuff out there, and what people are doing. You get 5 minutes. I'll interrupt and interview you if you need some help. If you just want to talk for 5 minutes like an elevator pitch, I'll explain that out off air, Smoking Jim, what an elevator pitch is. I know you know it because you like Tony Robbins and some of those other self-help guys. But we're going to do something like that that's never been done in the city of Pittsburgh. And you can actually call in if you want to do an interview and you can't make it to the studio. But come down to the studio. We're going to start in May. We haven't set a date yet. We're negotiating right now on it. People like Chief, you know what a negotiator I am and others. So Smoking Jim and I are working on that. Oh, they're calling his phone right now. Somebody wants
They want
to
a
be.
5-minute interview.
They want the 5-minute interview. There you go, folks. We're going to have the talking machine from Pittsburgh Sportsline on BPTV doing a show on PCTV.
Live show.
A live show. And it's going to be on Tuesdays, to give you another little tease. And I'm hearing it's going to be about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. We haven't firmed up a date yet, but Smoking Jim got 6 hours of airtime. So we'll figure out what 1 hour I get to do, because he's working with so many sweeties for Jimmy.
Yay!
I can't even keep track of how many shows he has. And that's our breaking news, too. Smoking Jim, I'm all worn out right now. No, I'm just kidding.
I didn't get the memo to wear black today.
What's your hat?
Oh, there you go.
Smoking Jim. You don't read. You don't check emails.
This is Jeff's hat. Jeff, give me this hat.
Jeff said he's never worn a hat with hair like that.
He got great hair.
That's why I said it. Smoking Jim will compliment it all day long. All right, we're going to go to little Penguins because they're losing, and I've been a big fan of what they've done. I never thought they should have gotten rid of Crosby, never got on that bandwagon. With the Malkin, with the trade, I don't care if he goes east to west. We got a north to south team, south to north team right now. Smoking that means they go up and down the ice, not side to side.
All righty.
It's like in football. If you run east to west, it takes you 30 yards to get a 10-yard first down. And the same thing with getting the puck in the net. Malkin goes more east to west, so when he comes back and he's healthy, there won't be a power outage. We have such speed on the team from top to bottom. We used to complain about the fourth line. Now we let the fourth line go a little bit, and we're getting goals. I mean, look, you got a 39-year-old player, Cullen, scoring.
Wow.
I mean, we're getting bonuses all over the place. Do I think getting rid of the coach helped? Yes. Because like you even hear some of the people on other stations and channels, he was always trying to pound a square peg in a round hole. And that doesn't always work. At least our coach now, he's adjusted to the talent. He lets them do what they're capable of. And they do play some defense, which is always good. But here's the nice thing. They play a nice offensive game using the talents and the skills that they have from top to bottom. And that's why I'm talking a little Penguins now. I'm excited about them. I think they'll go far, at least past the first round in the playoffs. I'm not worried who they play right now. Yeah. I think other teams have to worry. Yeah. What do you think, Tony?
I mean, the matchup, you can't worry about matchups right now.
What's the point of it?
No, it's and same thing about home ice. People say, "Oh, the Penguins have to start at home. I don't think it's a priority. They've been a good road team all season. Their game translates home and road. They don't need the last shift to really make a determination of how the game's going to be played. I feel like everyone's talking about the Rangers, and they've won the last two against them. And they want to have the ideal matchup to get to the next level. But ideally, right now, the Penguins just have to get there, playing the best hockey possible, and kind of let the chips fall where they may. And you've got to be comfortable with that as a fan.
When Malkin comes back, would you put him right back into the lineup? Or
absolutely.
Okay.
He'd save the power play.
Here's the thing that people seem to forget. You may not like his style, or you may think he's a temperamental Russian or something, but he carried the team on its back. Without him, we wouldn't even be talking playoffs now.
Good point.
They would have been too far behind.
He had 30 games with Crosby when he was out of the top 100 of scores, and Malkin was carrying the team, carrying the power play, and now roles have kind of reversed. And hopefully, when they come back, knock on wood, they all pull it together. The power play picks up. And
all they need to do is play consistent like
Yeah.
they are. They already proved what a lot of players thought they could do. They're actually doing it. Even a couple are going better than what they thought they could do, right? You were talking a little before about that. It's just amazing, with what they're getting out of the players right now. And they're getting short shifted at times, which helps because the ones that are hot, look at how we scored 4 goals in the second period the game before. I mean, that was amazing in itself. I happened to be coming back from somewhere. The Meadows, the SummerSlam stable, had their new horse, Handsome Prince, Smoking Jim. He actually got a check and come in 4th. And I turn on the radio as I'm leaving, and the Penguins are starting the second period, and it was 20 seconds into it. They scored a goal. I'm like, whoa. Then another couple minutes, they scored a goal again. I said, I got to get home. This 20-minute drive home, I got to hurry up. I don't want to miss anything. They scored 4 goals. Wow. Now that's exciting. And even Smoking Jim, who does not know hockey that well, his greatest player is...
Yager.
It was Gretzky the last time.
Oh, the greatest player of all time.
Yeah, I didn't say Penguins.
Oh.
Here's a good story. Tying into Gretzky.
Okay. I knew we'd get something out of you.
His son Trevor was actually a minor league draft pick baseball player.
Kid,
Really?
Not anymore though. He got released. He's now
Hockey.
back on the streets and going out and trying to pursue his career in another manner. So
Wow.
I just saw the name.
Did you?
Yeah, I saw the name. Came across my emails. I see Gretzky. His email out there. I had to look into the kid a little bit further, being Wayne's son, and just a nice story. You see the family being well involved with sports and
Sure.
just a good time.
Maybe he'll be an actor like his mother.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, let me ask you a question. People talk about greatness in all sports. In basketball, I think the greatest basketball player of all time was Wilt Chamberlain. But in hockey, I think the greatest hockey player of all time was Wayne Gretzky. Do you agree, disagree?
My opinion, maybe I'm a little biased being in Pittsburgh. I mean, I've heard differing arguments here. You have to respect what Gretzky did. I'm going to give the slight nod to Lemieux.
Okay.
Well, let me second that emotion right there. That's also a song if you guys follow any music. But you have to look that up, Google that. One of the things with Gretzky, he had a lot of great help around him. And he wasn't a big player. And in hockey, you had a lot of tough people. He wasn't the biggest physical type player, I'm saying. He was in great shape. And he had speed, he had a lot of talent, no doubt about it. Well, you had a guy come to Pittsburgh, save the franchise. What's he, 6'5"? Lemieux. He come in and he changed the sport. And we all know that from the Steelers, like Mel Blount, guys like that, some of the receivers, Joe Green. When you talk about guys that change a sport, Lemieux scored on his first play. Coast to coast he went with the puck. So you knew he was special. He didn't really work out. He liked to smoke cigarettes. Wasn't the greatest, athlete, but the talent he had was so far advanced at that young of an age that it's amazing. If he didn't have health problems and cancer and other things, he would have been the greatest player on the record books, bar none. My opinion is, yes, he had the greatest talent and the ability to do much more. His career was cut short.
Oh, so
The one thing they always say about Lemieux, which I probably give him the nod, is he was the type of player that was able to transform his game multiple times throughout his career.
And he uplifted the other players. Robbie Brown, scored 50 goals, didn't have the talent to be a 50-goal scorer.
Yeah.
When you think about that, how many players was Gretzky doing that to?
So what you're basically saying, and I understand now, is you're basically saying if Gretzky played for the Penguins, he would be the greatest of all time. So I understand.
No, actually, that's such a that concept is so bad that we didn't have the players that Gretzky
You are wearing
had.
black and gold.
Somehow you missed that. Yeah, that's our logo. Somehow you missed in using that vast, extensive education that you have to dig deep in the nonsense Because what talent and other players did I even say we had? You didn't hear that because there weren't any.
Yager?
He come later.
He came with the.
Later, my friend.
But he won Stanley Cups.
Yeah, that is true. But now we talk apples and oranges like you throw out to everybody else. Like when you're an NFL scout or a basketball scout, everything that somebody says disagreeing is an apple, and I have the orange. Well, I hold both the apples and the oranges because your listening skills are not that good. And he had a great supporting cast, Gretzky. I don't understand what that means, but there were great players. Hall of Famers. Lemieux did not have that starting out.
I will give Gretzky his due. He made LA hockey.
Yeah.
That was his big, in my opinion, his big claim to fame after his playing days. He lifted LA hockey, the Bo Bennett, Penguins hockey player right there. He's a beneficiary of what Gretzky was able to do to LA. The roller hockey rinks being built there, and how
Hold it,
strong
if
the
we
Kings
go
were.
there, look at Pittsburgh with all of that.
And what is Gretzky's nickname?
The great one.
The Great One. Did you listen to that?
I heard that. Also,
But it's not the greatest one.
yeah, thank you. Tony, you're welcome back anytime you want. Just like,
It's like in boxing.
did you ever read history?
I get beat up in boxing when I say the greatest fighter of all time was Rocky Marciano. Everybody gets on me. Now that I say basketball, the greatest was Wilt Chamberlain.
I actually agree with you there.
Averaged 1 year, 50 points and 30 rebounds, scored 100 points in one game.
The three
But when
people saw that game.
but when I say Wayne Gretzky, who has how many Stanley Cups? See, here's
I can't even recall.
Here's what separates Wayne Gretzky from not only Mario, but anybody that played the game. He took hockey from here and put it on prime time. So you got to give him his due there.
Well, I would try to find out.
Penguins was still wearing powder blue uniforms.
Wait, I would try to
find.
find out who owned the team, because who got all those players and spent all that money? Why don't you do that? Because I don't care. I just know about the players when you put them up against each other, what they could do. If you're on a team, and like you're the greatest running back in the world, but you can't do anything else, your team may only be one-dimensional.
When is the last time you won?
Oh, you don't listen to facts. I understand.
I'm just going to say this.
Go ahead.
Here's a guy.
I like a good
Here's
discussion
a
with
modern
you.
day guy I can compare to Wayne Gretzky.
Okay.
Never in my life did I ever want to see Golden State Warriors play. Now I watch them all the time.
Steph Curry.
But he's surrounded with great players, but you turn on the TV to see Steph Curry, and you turned on the TV to see Wayne Gretzky.
That's understood. There's no argument. I watched them
You're
too.
arguing with me for 15 minutes.
Yeah, because I'm right about Lemieux, talent-wise and skills, and what he did for other players. Like you can't even skate, but yet we put skates on you, you'd be on the ice. If you got near the goal within 20 feet, you'd be a 20-goal scorer with Lemieux. With Gretzky, he would go around you and put the puck in because he'd go, get out of my way.
You beat me up because I'm patting a white man on the back.
Well, it's all false. You threw Wilt Chamberlain out in this conversation. How do you even do that? Then you threw Rocky Marciano.
He loved the ladies.
Well, so what about 10,000? You know? Well, folks, you got a little interesting segment. The Smoking Jim knows he knows I like to argue. Rarely do I do it with him because the sense makes none to me. Okay? It's nonsensical most of the time. And to all his fans, especially the sweeties for Jimmy, you can stay in his corner there. I'm okay with that. Because he's saying the same line to every one of you. He hasn't changed. And he's sincere. And whatever team you're on, he loves it. Oh, did I say that out loud? Sorry, folks. We only got about 4 minutes and 43 seconds. Let's just have an open discussion. We got Pirates coming up with their home opener. That's exciting. Now, the disclaimer, Smoking Jim is not a fan, as we all know. And like I've declared before, he did say Babe Ruth is looking over us. And he really isn't. He may be in heaven, but he's not looking over the Pirates. Go Yankees. And they're going to start. I'm excited. Smoking Jim, any thought on the Pirates?
Who they play?
Okay, very good.
I'll try to add to that one.
If you could go into slightly more detail in 5 seconds,
Yeah.
and then you got a minute or so to go.
Nice and quick. Interesting situation with their rotation.
Yes.
They made the announcement today. Jeff Locke being guaranteed a spot in the rotation now. Vogelsong.
Is he going to make it?
I think they're going to move him to the pen.
Okay.
I think just he has had such a bad spring that they're going to move him and just transition him into a role to get some more experience, get the innings as a reliever. Then, as you know, when you play so many games, you're going to have an injury pop up.
Yes.
Someone in the rotation is going to miss a start, and Vogelsong will be that
What's
guy.
Cole's status right now?
I've heard I've heard a little bit with his having a little of an issue with his control, and he might be. I know they pushed back his start a couple of days for the.
I think they
season,
should.
So.
Yeah, he went 4 innings the other day.
Yeah, had to give a couple runs, gave up some hits, just missing spots. The stuff's obviously still there, but I think in terms of where he needs to be,
He's not.
No, not right now. Needs probably a couple more days beyond opening day.
And Smoking Jim's not happy that Cole doesn't start the season because Liriana shouldn't, right?
Well, yeah, I'm not happy with everybody jumping on the bandwagon that they're a wild card team.
I agree.
I think they should have spent a little bit more money in the offseason.
Well,
to the choir.
I think
Thanks, Tony.
I think we have a difference in philosophy from the Nuttings. They're business people first, and they actually show you how to make money with a franchise and not be big winners.
Mm-hmm.
They're actually showing you that great business model. You can actually raise ticket prices, food prices, and you still get sellouts. It's amazing.
And I think
More
Clutch,
people showed up last year than ever before.
I think Clutch should be the 4th hitter, and I would hit the Korean in the 5th spot.
He's not able to play right now.
I mean, whenever
What
he
does
does
he
get
do?
healthy.
That could be months away. So should we just wait?
Just postpone it for
Yeah.
today.
I'm just trying to have a discussion, not an argument. But it seems like you can bring up whatever you want on who's the greatest and who should be playing.
And where they should be hitting.
Exactly. And the hitting. Whoa! That one was out of the park. Smoking Jim, I got to thank you for all your help here because you just reaffirmed what I feel is right. From hockey to basketball to boxing, where we agree. So I'm happy about that. Baseball's a work in progress. We're hoping to do some things with the Wild Things.
Absolutely.
And I hope he can go to the batting cage. And you know how they have like wire? When you go on there to look, put your hands like this. Don't grab a hold of the fence-like thing because you could lose a finger or two. These are little tips. Like when we went to the meadows, when you want to feed a carrot or an apple to a horse, hold your hand flat. You won't lose that thumb or a finger. Little tips like this, my friend, because you're a good man.
Thank you, sir.
And even though we disagree on anything you want to so-called argue about, because I do have points like you do, point and counterpoint, but it's always fun. You got 20 seconds, Smoking Jim. What else?
I'm going to give it to Tony.
Okay,
enough.
you got 40 seconds.
We got NFL draft coming up here in less than a calendar month. All the football fans in the area have to be excited. I'm
Yes.
sure we'll start getting more of an idea of what's going to be coming available, pre-draft visits. Looking forward to seeing which way the Steelers go, and I'm sure the summer will be here soon enough with training camp.
No doubt about it.
Pitt just hired an NIT coach, but go ahead, Al.
I didn't even want to talk about Pitt because I'm so disappointed. 7 NCAA visits out of 17 years. I'll leave it at that because that's not what I wanted to hear. He may give Brandon Knight a chance as a coach. I actually like that because I think he can do something there. And we need to improve the recruiting. And Jeff, how's our time look if you're checking Tessa there?
10 seconds.
You got to be kidding. I can't handle the pressure. Thanks for watching us on Verizon 32 everywhere. Thanks, Bethel Park. I'm Al Levine, the Talking Machine. Stay Joey strong.